but I think we don't, it's not showing here, but this is like a concrete stem wall that the storefront is sitting on. So really, really all of these, sorry. Like right now, the fountain is abutting concrete, concrete, and concrete. So
Oh, okay.
does it make more sense to put like some heavy duty waterproofing against the concrete, and then the stainless steel doesn't even, I don't know, go? So we only have the trough here. So we modeled it wrong because I don't think we realized that thick thing was a trough for water. So this is incorrect. So the water we're talking about would flow over on these two sides, but I don't know. I would want someone's recommendation if we should just eliminate this, because like I said, all of these are going to be concrete. So maybe if we can figure out a robust way to waterproof this or maybe tile it like we did on the other one, like maybe it has black tile.
Yeah, maybe it has black tile and the water just flows on those PV sides like you have,
Yeah, so I mean, we would be open to any suggestions that people have.
Just one thing I wanted to mention, Kara, like those walls that are like butting against the column, definitely they would need to have like some separation, at least an 1 inch, right? So like,
Yeah,
I mean,
so
that's
this is
something.
this is modeled wrong. So really, just this face of it is supposed to be stainless steel, and then this was the gap.
Yeah.
That's the rock gap. So we did not model that correctly. It's supposed to be a gap, not a wall.
the wall takes the place of the gap, basically, right?
Well, but what I'm saying is we already have concrete. So do we need?
Maybe that's what you can do actually, is just hold the top of the wall down a little bit and then run the steel, the walnut blasted stainless steel a little bit higher, and then you just have the pebbles, on top of that block wall, but water doesn't go to it because it's slightly quarter inch higher than the rest of it or something. So you still have that same look of the trough around it, but the water only flows in the front two sides like that. Did you follow that? It's kind of like that block wall is held down the same depth as the other. So you'd have a trough still, but it would only be a few inches deep. You know what I mean?
Well, I think that's what this is supposed to be. So let me shrink it. So,
Hello, I finally made it.
Hi, Todd.
Todd.
Yeah, Todd.
Sorry, all
No problem.
technology issues. Do you guys have questions that I could help with, or?
Well, we just have some design questions or ideas that deal with that side of the fountain.
Okay. Go ahead.
Well, the way the floor plan is drawn, the water flows on all sides of the fountain. But because it's up against the building, we'd end up with like this 24-inch deep rock that we'd have to pull it out and stuff. So we're debating on how to do it when maybe the water just flows over those two long sides, the south and the east side, basically, yeah. And then maybe the other areas up against the planter to the north and then the building, those could be, that's a block wall below that. And then you still have your walnut blasted steel, but it's just like maybe 4 inches high or so. And then the gravel or the stones are higher in the back, and then it just flows over the other two sides. So,
Right.
does that make sense? I don't know.
Yeah, that seems to work.
Okay.
Maybe you're thinking about bringing the rock up to this level?
Yeah, exactly. It would be sitting on top of the little block wall there.
Right.
And you could have a little, 6-inch piece of metal on the back. So it just kind of mimics what's happening down lower in the other two sides.
So
Yeah.
here and then a stainless.
Exactly, yeah, and that way, and then but you'd hold the metal right there when you're first, well, next to the 6-inch dimension there. You'd hold that a quarter or half inch higher so the water doesn't flow into it actually that thing.
Right.
So I may have missed something, but you can't just have the metal weir on those sides adjacent to the building, as you said, higher, so there's no water flow over it? And
That's
then
kinda
still, still have the trough with the pebbles at that level?
Yeah, at the higher level, yeah.
What do you mean higher level?
Well, just like 6 inches below, instead of having it fall all the way down into a, cavity.
They're worried
John-
about trash collecting, Todd, between the
Yeah,
walnut
the
and
concern was maintenance getting back in here to try to clean that with only 6 inches.
Oh, today they all have blowers. They stick their little blower in there. It's all done. It's all done. I don't know that's a huge issue. I think it's weirder to have the rock come up to the top. It looks kind of artificial with that, I would think, on those edges. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I think it seems strange.
Okay, well, that was an idea. I don't know, I mean.
Show me the edges you're talking about. Can you pinpoint those again in the
Yeah,
plan?
I think Jack, I think you know what I'm talking about, yeah,
Water here and here.
that's water.
Uh-huh.
With the low basin, the low trough of the waters, and that was another question, is it still like that in Splash, or does it just run over the side of the stainless steel?
And we're thinking, Todd, that maybe the water just sheet down the walls, because if it free falls, it's gonna splash and,
Yeah, I think that's what was envisioned.
okay.
Okay. So, yeah, so the only two sides, can you show the two sides, Jack, that would have water flowing over the side? Yeah, those two sides. And then the other ones up against the building, the planter wouldn't.
So all we do is just raise this wall up a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking.
and then,
And obviously you don't need to drain anything in that location.
Right, we're just gonna try.
I don't know what you're thinking in terms of the overall feature. In other projects over structure where we've had similar conditions, the builder elected to have a continuous metal stainless underneath the whole thing.
All the way across?
Yeah, which they felt was important to any future waterproofing issues.
Right.
Is that something that you would do or consider? Or?
We hadn't thought about going underneath here, but I guess we could.
Yeah, I would think it would be a big pan, basically.
Okay. Speaking of that, Todd, we had another concern. We hadn't brought this up yet, but this gap, kind of concerned about trash or water falling into this space.
bagging water in the.
Is there a potential maybe just raising this wall up and making that plan a part of the whole fountain and not have a separate plan about?
So at the top, you'd see a little gap? Or-
Well, if we just
Okay.
bring this wall up and make that turn,
Yeah, if you could do that, that's fine.
that whole thing becomes part of the whole stainless steel
Yeah, that makes sense.
without a separate planter box.
Yeah.
That was just a thought we had.
Yeah, that's good.
The other quick thing that we did a quick measurement on this thing is roughly almost 12 by 9.5. It's pretty good for making this as one piece. I think we could transport that on a wide flatbed and then crane it into place.
Uh-huh.
Is that a concern to anybody, having it a single piece being that large, or probably okay?
Not to me.
Right.
Makes sense, it's fabricated oxide and you drop it in place.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think if we can incorporate that plan into the whole structure and without a separate one, it'll make it easier.
How do you handle the plumbing penetrations then?
That's a tough one, because if we have, you know, these coming up in the structural slab, we'd have to, I guess we could make them match exactly where they are and do some kind of a bulkhead seal fitting for these and these. That's the part we haven't thought through yet, Todd. We're not quite sure how to make this thing work.
Well, that's why you're on the job, I guess.
Thank you.
Architect doesn't know him.
And I'm sure we can find a way to do it. We just haven't gone that far yet, but we will.
Just
And the other
from
thought
a s-
was, you know, if there's a continuous pan, maybe this isn't a void, maybe this is just full of water.
Yeah. I think that's simpler.
That might make more sense.
Fill the whole thing with water, you said?
Yeah, just have like a screen, like a grate up here for the cobble. Just have the
Oh,
whole.
okay, all right, right.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, if I can find, should be able to dig out a similar element that we did on another project that had some sections.
Okay, that'd be helpful.
We charge reasonably.
Just one thing from a structural standpoint, like making sure those penetrations are coordinated with me, because the slab is going to be cantilevered. Normally, penetration close to the support, which in this case is going to be our retaining wall, is a little bit crucial. So I just wanted to make sure where those are going to be placed.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we're gonna have them both coming through. They're gonna be coming through from down, the pump room is here going through this slab and maybe out the wall and then up through this suspended slab. I'm not sure yet how that's gonna work.
Wow, you don't have a headroom problem, are you?
No, that's for sure. So that all needs to be, we'd have to have either sleeves in your slab here.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You sleeve in the horizontal in that to the wall too.
It's a tricky fountain, guys. It's a tricky fountain.
Yeah.
Brad, do you have a preference as to whether or not they penetrate the slab on top of the building or the cantilevered portion of the slab?
Well, I prefer to be basically within this, like a building rather than the cantilever, unless you are like away from the support. So, because the thing is that like what I care the most is this area, and this area is a little bit crucial because this is gonna be basically rebar. The rebar that is going at the top is the one that is taking care of this cantilever portion. So I just wanted to make sure I do have enough development length, and then like a penetration is not going to. What depends on how many cores are we talking about, right? Like if we're talking about one core, then it's easier to deal with rather than like 4 or 5, right? So it depends on the locations. Definitely like this area, which is really close to the support. That's where my I'm concerned with, because that's where my rebars are gonna be engaged to handle the cantilever side.
Instead of coring, would it be easier just to maybe try to sketch out and locate where those pipes are and then coordinate that with you so you can box those out or something?
Yeah, so that's exactly what I was going for. Is just if we can coordinate the locations. I mean, so prior to the construction, the contractor can actually sleeve it, so that's way they can move the rebars, and it would be much more easier than post core.
Okay. I think to answer your question, I think we're gonna have a minimum of 4 penetrations, 2 suctions and 2 discharges.
And are they spaced far away from each other, or they are like kind of bundled or close to each other? I mean, do you know?
I think we could put them like, I mean, the slab is here, so probably like one here for the suctions, and then one here for the discharge.
That's all over the structure, right?
That's all on structure. It's roughly runs right through here is where the,
And could you use like embed like a nice small, like stainless steel French drain in the cantilever portion and bring that back to the structural part, you know what I mean? For the drain on the lower prop, I'll call it.
I'm not sure I followed you.
Yeah, well, on the lower portions of the lower basin, rather than having the drain pipes underneath through the earth and then back into the building, if the cantilever deck is thick enough, you can just use a very small, trench drain, like stainless steel trench drain with,
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I think we can keep all the penetrations.
yeah, over the deck. Yeah, over the structural deck.
We don't have any out here at all.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what I mean.
So if you can actually just let me know like how far they can actually place, because like like if this is basically is our retaining wall below, like as far as we could get, that's the best option, right? So I'm not sure like how far you could put those cores, but that's something like, I mean, just show it to me on a plan, then with the rough dimensions, then I could actually take a look at it, because I believe we do have a concrete column here as well. So I just need to kind of like check how would these cores impact the structure. And then definitely it's better to coordinate it before construction, so then the contractor can actually leave sleeves in, so then they can actually put the trim bars around.
Right.
Yeah, hydraulically, they're, you know, that we can space them out, whatever. I think the only thing we have to do is anywhere on the sections, those are gonna have to be 3 feet apart at a minimum.
Mhm.
And then we need 2 under the water, basically, for the discharge to well up, and then at least 2 inside of the trough for the water to drain down.
Yeah, we have to calculate how many, I mean, if we only have that now, that minimizes the water quite a bit, so we should be fine with just. Well, do we have that trough here anymore? I thought we got rid of that, right?
Not water flowing over it though. So
Oh,
it's just like a
so-
quarter inch higher weir on that side, right, Todd?
But we still have the trough here, it just doesn't have any water going into it.
I think that's what we're talking about,
Okay,
right, Todd?
I think that's
I
what
think
he
it lost
did
audio.
want. He still wanted the 6-inch gap and the low gravel.
right, okay. As long as we have a continuous trough, we can just put the suctions here and here. And then the discharge here and here.
Do we know how large those cores would be? 4-inch?
Once we calculate the new water length, we can come up with that number for you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that seems to make sense, I think. We'll make this all one unit.
Oh, I was trying to send a picture. I think I modeled this, but I'm not able to share this picture. So if you want, I can share the screen just so if we
Yeah.
want to confirm we're all on the same page.
But
I mean, yes, OTL, you have things that you're gonna be working on, but I think we were talking about, these should all be at the same height, I just didn't adjust them, but the rock thing would be at this level, basically,
Oh,
right?
I don't
Is
think
that-
we're thinking about that, but maybe I misunderstood.
Oh, you want, it was supposed to
I
be
thought
lower
the
still?
rock level will still be down low, right?
Right.
Okay.
You know, one thing to think about though, is that sidewalk, is it pretty level there, or is that gonna be an issue that the sidewalk slopes a little bit in that direction?
Could be.
It is sloping, so we should determine what elevation. But does that mean this is low also, like these back here? Because I thought that was the maintenance
Well,
issue.
that's what I was thinking about, pulling those up, but Todd, vetoed that idea. The ones in back.
Yeah, but wouldn't we still have a maintenance concern?
Yeah, we still would, that's the thing. I don't think we'll look bad on that, but maybe at the very southwest corner, you could have a little second little waterfall over and then bring the gravel back in about a foot or something. I don't know.
Right, well, it sounds like it still needs to be looked at.
How much of that slope do you think, like a 4 lane?
I don't
Trying
know.
to and
Yeah.
look, it certainly isn't like P901, 2001, but it's still a little stuff.
Full plans.
Walking down a little bit.
Are you guys seeing Todd's comments that pop up on my screen?
No.
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 We
Oh,
lost
it's
audio.
if you go
but
to
he's-
chat, if you go to the chat, if you click on chat at the bottom next to participants,
Oh, I see. Okay.
It's not simpler to
It's not
extend the
simpler.
planter along the building.
We made a simple fountain shape. And along the building.
So I think he's talking about pushing the fountain wall right up against the building, but that's what
Oh,
we were
yeah.
talking about.
Okay, yeah, we talked about that too.
So it looks like the slope isn't super crazy because this elevation here is 223.44. Oh, actually, 223.44.
If you look at the
Bottom of
top
wall.
of curve, 220.
Sorry. Top of wall, 227.75, and then 225.16.
Oh, I see that.
Can that be right? Oh, no, that's top of wall.
Well, just look at the curve height, like opposite your 223.83 and 223.35. So that's like 6 inches in about.
Yeah, so it's not
It's a
super
piece.
sloped. It's probably 1.5-ish. I know this is the curb flow line.
Yeah.
but It's probably fairly flat here.
Well, what about that? Just extend the fountain and the steel plate right up against. Well, right to the planter on the north and the wall.
Right, then that's like, that was my initial question. How do you, like you would need to seal this gap or put like.
Oh, that's right. You know what? You have the horizontal mullion, the window. You know, above, like it's showing that basically. So there's no gap. Yeah, like that. And slide that up against.
Yeah, but we would have to detail that, so like water, doesn't fall back unless we basically depress this whole area that the fountain is on and then just do some hot waterproofing under it, and then the whole fountain is a stainless steel.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically a stainless steel thing like Todd was suggesting, and then it doesn't matter if water flows through there, it'll just, we would have to have a 2-stage drain somewhere.
Slope it so that it needs to get somewhere it slopes out for
Yeah,
the street side, the building side.
so I guess we're talking about something like this now, potentially. And then I don't know what elevation this gravel is.
Yeah, that's kind of
The gravel is still down low in those where the water falls,
Yeah,
right?
the gravel down lower.
Are we making a depression into the structural slab?
That's what Harris was saying for kind of a waterproofing, fail-proof kind of.
Do we know how much are we planning to drop the slab at that area?
About 11.5 inches. No, I just did it. Probably like about
It would-
like 2.5, 3 inches or something,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
That's
And then are we,
Yeah,
so if the depression happens, so then does that mean like the cantilever slab is going to be flat, or does it need to be sloped?
it. Well, it'll be the same elevation as the slab depression.
Okay, so it's gonna be complete flat
Yeah,
from the inside to outside.
I think so. If anything, I guess the cantilever would slope,
slope toward the street, right?
yeah, towards
Yeah.
just so, like, if water were to get underneath this fountain, it would just flow
Yep.
off.
Yeah, that's a sand. That's a deep drywall that awesome.
Would that work for you, Fred?
I mean, it's doable, it's just a matter of like, so does that mean like if we have this drop here, and then we're gonna basically slope it like this?
Yep. You know what? It's like a depression in an exterior balcony where this slab just continues out,
Mm,
Yeah,
okay, so
You know what I
so
mean?
technically,
yeah,
so it's a small,
yeah.
drop here, and then, yeah, I mean, it's doable, like, I mean, it just needs to, like, the rebars needs to be sloped, with basically, like the top and bottom rebars need to be sloped.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good, even if this were, we have it's a good detail even for planners and other locations, I need to have that depression. I don't know what we have. We don't have that though on the other planners. Kind of nice to depress that.
We have a little depression, I think, or at least
Yeah,
a
okay,
curve.
so you do have,
Yeah, from the interior to exterior, yeah.
I think it's a 2.5 inch, right, Kara? Because we were carrying like a 2.5 inch topping inside.
so you've already got that then on the planner to the north, but. Obviously,
Yeah, I think we should.
So yeah, so just let me know, Kara, if we need to drop more, because if we are trying to figure out like the finish elevation from inside to outside, and I think there's like some topping, but I'm not sure it's gonna apply here or not.
Yeah, we wouldn't put a topping, I think, on this. The
Outside, right?
fountain would be directly on the
wouldn't that.
hot applied waterproofing.
Mm.
Where do you show your,
The detail you mean?
where do you show if it's depressed?
Oh, well, I mean, we have not depressed this area. Like, so we were carrying like 2.5 inch topping everywhere as a tile, right? but we did not depress the slab here. It's basically, oh, there you go. I mean, don't, here. These are like depression that I have.
Oh, yeah, you don't have any,
Okay, then maybe we
Okay.
need to look at this again because,
Has it been changed?
well, no.
no,
this would
because
be-
we want, yeah, we would want, this depression here, but then like we need the curb here for this threshold and everything, and then this would need to be depressed, and this is wrong, actually. It should extend the whole way.
I mean, even if it's just a inch depression below the plan, it's something, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't want that plan to keep changing the state, like we're basically permanent.
because I want this to be higher than out here.
The water does get through the bottom of the planter, nice and down the
Just-
lower the building.
Also, one thing that probably at that area, we do have a steel column that is sitting at the corner of the stair here. So it's kind of important to make sure that we achieve like some sort of like a flat surface so they can actually place the plate. So, I mean, sloping doable, but I think a contractor would have some hard time to.
Well, you could, with the curb, you just hold the curb up at this, the main slab elevation, yeah, but
Well, actually, do we need that steel column?
Yeah, the reason I have that steel column is because that corner of the stair is not picked up by anything. So I'm actually using the steel column to support the corner of because you see there is no concrete column here. And then this is like a kind of like an opening, right? So I have this steel column to pick up this corner at the top.
But can this, well, because I don't want a base plate here. Anyways,
Yeah.
we can talk about this offline. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, we could continue this concrete wall here and the steel column could sit on the wall potentially, but
Or we could discuss this because.
okay.
yeah, and stuff, and, I think we agreed we're gonna have to depress the slab under the fountain area and eventually probably under all the planters too, right?
For sure.
Okay, and so now going back to the Todd's idea and what we talked about also earlier is just running that stainless steel up against the building. So there won't be any trough and then just waterproofing that. Like it's below grade almost with, with hot. Waterproofing. God, it looks like you opened a can of worms here.
It sure does. I'm sorry, guys. Now, we just started looking at this and we're scratching our heads like, how is this thing really gonna work?
Okay. So, all right, so we've talked about eliminating the void. Just having some sort of a grate that holds the gravel and that's all water below in there, in that void area. Is that what you heard? I heard you.
Down here?
Yeah, I thought that's what you and Todd were talking about.
Yeah, we thought about just making that all water and just have a grate up here that can support the cobble. And the water will just upflow and then flow down.
Okay, you okay with that, Fred?
Sorry, you just lost for a moment. Can you repeat that again?
Well, those void areas would be actually water, full of water. Instead of-
Well, I mean, it definitely adds more weight to the structural slab. It's just a matter of like, I mean, if that is going to happen, then I just need to make sure like the exact amount of weight, including the tree, and then like everything else on the slab, so then I can just rerun it to make sure it's okay. But yeah, I mean, it's doable, but I mean, definitely I need to run numbers and might need to reinforce or add more rebars to that area. I'm not worried and this area is basically partially outside, right? Like right now, it's the cantilever portion is not shown, but I assume it's kind of like, yeah. So it would basically add more weight. I could run numbers to see how that's gonna look like. I mean, I might need to basically increase the slab there.
What about just doing, the old cone, the steel cone? You don't
Like,
really
the
need
foam
that
to-
water and just.
Mm.
I don't know, it's a good idea.
Is like what is the depth like right now? What like
Oh, it's not that, yeah, not that, and, yeah,
it's about like a 2 feet.
Right.
Mm. Okay. I could assume that it's full water and then see how it's gonna look like. Usually, like in terms of the deflection, since there is a soil underneath,